Hey, welcome to Jason's World of Insightful Things. Good morning. Today we're going to go in and replace a bad drive motor on an air handler in this fancy mechanical room. And if we look now, we got this very cool motor we got back from Al's High Tech yesterday. It's a 483 phase Baldor. And that motor right there is going to go in this situation right here. So it's an air handler that serves a chunk of the building, and we've been without this for quite some time now, and now I'm excited to finally get this motor back. What we had happen on this is it kept blowing overloads on the circuit breakers for this motor, and what we found was the bearings were seized on both ends. So when Al's High Tech got a hold of this motor, they broke the end caps off, and they had to get new end caps because the bearings wore out, basically the cups that they sit in, so it took it out of tolerance. And so if we would have just replaced caps, it would have just ruined the bearings again prematurely. So we're going to get this motor basically rebolted in here. I got the fasteners right here from last time when we took it out. Throw a new belt on it and fire it up. So I'm not going to take you through all the rigor of looking at how to bolt the motor up. That's pretty boring. So I'll come back to you in just a few minutes and we'll look at what it looks like mounted, and we'll go over some fine points of that. Okay, we are ready to rock and roll now in the world of motor replacement. So bottom line is we got a brand new belt on this system. And I'm going to talk a second about how to look for the right tension on this belt. So I usually like about a 1/2 inch of play, knowing that this is a brand new belt and a new pulley on the motor and whatnot. It's going to do some breaking in. So I leave it a little tighter than normal. So this should be good with about a 1/2 inch of play. So if this is the center line, right, like if you could draw an invisible line down, if you go from here to here, that's your play. So that's about a 1/2 inch. And again, it'll stretch in the next hours or so once I get this running. We wired the motor. So I didn't show you that because you're gonna basically take the wires out, make sure the powers and everything is disconnected and your lockout tagouts in place. But bottom line is, and people find this funny, this part of the motor where the wires connect is called the pecker head. So in that pecker head, there's your 3 primary 483 phase lines that are going to energize the motor, and then there's another I don't know, 6 or 8 wires that go to the coils. What those do is those determine what kind of voltage you're going to use and determine what coils are going to get energized and by what power. So this happens to be a 460, 480 volt system, and that's how we wired it. So we'll get into other videos on that. But what's important to notice is these slide adjustments. So the reason I'm not going through this is it's pretty kind of self-explanatory, but to get the belt tight, you have to loosen these nuts right here, this nut right there, and then the opposite side as well. Once you have the motor mounted to the base plate with the 4 base plate mounting bolts, basically what you want to do is you want to scoot the motor so you can get the most amount of slack. You put your belt on, and then you push the motor back with these nuts. I mean, it was so easy I could do it with my fingers without even a wrench once I actually loosened up the nuts, you know, from the stowed away position. So right now with you guys, we're going to fire this motor up. So let's go over to the main controls. I'm going to shut this door for right now. We're going to turn the main power on. System is going to start up. We're going to go to the frequency drive. We're going to make sure it's an automatic, which it is. This is the frequency drive that actually makes the motor go faster and slower versus just being on 100%. So the old systems would just the motor turn on at full speed. So this is going to go through a self-diagnostic startup. It's going to get information from the building automation system of what it is asking it to do. Right now, it's basically Supply fan off, cool is in stage 0, so there's 3 compressors in here, actually 2 compressors. Our water loop, so if you watch some of my videos, we looked at the heat plate exchanger. So right now we're cruising towards 90 degrees. The reason for that is because I have the towers outside being worked on. I have a new fill valve being put on by Steingas Mechanical. So once this starts going through its pre-checks, this motor will then start up. So I'll show you that in just a second once it decides to start up. So we're back here. I want to add comments for you guys. I skipped over something that's really important. One of the things that you need to observe, whether it's written on here or you have to figure it out just by watching the old system, is there's a rotation. So the rotation of the fan matters because you can't run the fan backwards. So when you have 3-phase equipment, how you hook up the wires, you have a 50% chance of getting it right. So you hook up the 3 power leads, if you didn't already phase map it, with a phase rotation meter, or note which of the 3 wires here actually went on what terminals. So we're starting fresh. I did what's called bump the motor, and I made sure that this motor went the direction of that arrow up there. So I knew before I put this all back together again, this motor was wired correctly. And again, I just happened to guess on this because I didn't take it apart. It was already apart when I got here. So the direction of this is correct. So what I'm going to do is lube up these bearings. So there's some pillow block bearings right here. They have some grease fittings, one on this side, one on the other. The fan is going to start now. So now the frequency drive is in its lowest basic position. So the frequency drive does have an amp meter on it. I'm going to just amp it just to show you if it didn't, or if it was a direct drive, 100% no frequency drive. What you want to do is make sure that your amp legs for each of the ABC phase of the 3 phases within tolerance and close to each other. So you don't have a 20 amp and a 30 amp and a 20 amp. That's going to indicate that something's wrong. To find out what the amp rating is of the motor, right here on this plate, I can't really get around it that much, but right here on this plate tells you everything you need to know about this motor as far as the specifications. So this unit's going to go slow, and then as the systems prove itself, it'll probably start to speed up. To amp this, if you were going to do it the old school way, I have a simple amp probe. I'll set this to the amp side of things right there, so you can see it going on. And you grab around 1 wire and you put it through the donut, and right now I'm at 2 amps. So if I want to compare it, I can come over here, go on the frequency drive, and see that it's literally 2 amps, 2.5 amps. So that's pretty close. So right now the status is supply fan on, so that's cool. System will get going, and make sure all your bolts are retightened before you walk away. I'm going to throw some grease on these pillow block bearings, and we're going to call this a job. So I appreciate your time to watch. This is a pretty simple video. That's why I'm not going to make it the usual, half-hour long, because I don't think there's a half hour to talk about it. But if you ever want to know how easy it is to change out a supply fan in a air handling unit or rooftop unit, this is pretty much what you're going to deal with. So good seeing you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.